It was a brisk fall Thursday, and I was tired and bored after a long day at school. I have done LSD and shrooms before, and have enjoyed the experience. In addition, I had also done nutmeg, after hearing of its hallucinogenic properties, but felt little to no difference. My friend had told me about DPH tripping, and I was intrigued. The previous week, I downed an old bottle of DPH liquid that we had lying around. I went in and out of sleep the whole day, but no hallucinations. Anyway, I went to the store, obtained 3 20 packs of 12 milligrams, because they were out of the 50s. When I got home, I took out a bowl and began to unwrap the pills, which took some time, and put them in the bowl. When I had finished, I had something like 40 tablets, and began to take them. My tongue began to become tingly after about 20 of the tablets, and then went numb. I started a timer on my phone and began to watch YouTube or something. About 30 minutes in, I began to feel sleepy. I rolled over on my bed and pulled the sheets over my head. A few minutes later, I began to feel buzzy and strange. I felt a little paranoid as well. I did a quick cursory glance around the room to see if any hallucinations were occurring, and I noticed my chair moving. The top of it was waving like it was trying to say hello to me. I think I waved back, but I remember a jolt of adrenaline when I saw things really start to move. I glanced down at my hand and noticed a large bump growing on my palm. I blinked a few times, but it was still there. The next thing I noticed was a crack in the wall near the ceiling. As I stared at it, it morphed into a spider, which began to crawl/run up and down my wall. I was a little freaked out by this, but stayed relatively calm. I noticed more little things in my field of vision as the trip began to peak, such as spiders and ants or bugs on my wall, or flies flying around my room. At this point, I began to hear voices. They sounded like friends and family, and some were even whispering in my ear. I don't really remember much after this, but I do remember not feeling afraid, as if my emotions were dulled or blocked. A little while later, in an almost complete state of delirium, I noticed my principal standing in my room, staring at me menacingly. He is a tall bald man, picture grew, so this added to the creepiness. I got on the phone with my friend, after attempting to text him, because I couldn't remember anything about what I was going to say or type. I couldn't type more than 3 words at a time before forgetting what I was talking about. I also remember feeling really self-conscious about every word I typed, like I was being judged or something. At this point, I noticed both a man made of shadows collapse on my floor and melt away, and also saw a student from school standing outside of my window on the roof. None of this seemed out of the ordinary, and I commented on this to my friend, who told me I should try talking to the figures in my room. I attempted to talk, but it felt like one of those dreams where you can't make any noise. The best way I can relate to these characters/hallucinations is an episode of Black Mirror, Black Museum, in which a brain-dead murderer stares at people in a cell. After this, I lay back on my bed, only to find a transparent spider crawling across my sheets and a centipede that seemed to be missing some of its body as well. I poked at the bugs, and one of them vanished. Again, I didn't seem to find this scary or strange at all, which makes the whole experience more terrifying to remember. A little while later, restless leg syndrome starts up. I was a little scared because, at the time, I didn't really know what was going on. My legs had this built-up pressure which felt like I was being electrocuted. The only way to stop this sensation was to move my legs and torso. After about 2 more hours of slipping in and out of consciousness, not being able to speak, hearing whispers, seeing insects, and seeing fully formed people I knew standing in my room, I fell asleep. Strangely enough, I felt fine the next day and inspired and compelled to write about this unusual experience.